Nobody cares about your problems. Nobody cares about your struggles. Nobody cares about your pain. This is the brutal truth that most people refuse to accept, but it's the truth that will set you free. While you're sitting there waiting for someone to rescue you, waiting for someone to care about your situation, waiting for someone to hand you the life you think you deserve, successful people are out there working. They're grinding, they're building, they're creating the life they want because they understand one fundamental principle. The world doesn't owe you anything. Your dreams, your goals, your desires, they mean nothing to the universe. The only thing that matters is what you do about them. The only thing that matters is the work you put in when nobody is watching, when nobody is cheering, when nobody cares. Let me tell you something that might hurt your feelings but will change your life. Nobody is coming to save you. Your parents aren't going to solve your problems forever. Your friends aren't going to carry you to success. Your government isn't going to hand you prosperity. The cavalry isn't coming over the hill. You are it. You are your own rescue team. You are your own hero. You are your own solution. Stop looking around for someone to blame for where you are. Stop looking around for someone to fix what's broken in your life. Stop looking around for sympathy, for understanding, for someone to tell you it's okay to be mediocre. Because here's the truth. The marketplace doesn't care about your feelings. The marketplace doesn't care about your excuses. The marketplace doesn't care about your background, your circumstances, or your sob story. The marketplace only cares about one thing. What value can you bring? What problem can you solve? What need can you meet? Your excuses mean absolutely nothing to success. Your reasons for not achieving mean nothing to the results you produce. Your intentions mean nothing compared to your action. The world is full of people with good intentions. The world is full of people with great excuses. The world is full of people who almost made it, who are going to do something big, who had dreams and plans and visions. But the world rewards those who execute. The world rewards those who deliver. The world rewards those who work when work is hard, who persist when persistence is painful, who keep going when everyone else quits. Your background doesn't determine your future. Where you came from doesn't dictate where you're going. What happened to you doesn't define what happens through you. But here's what does determine your future: what you do today, what you do tomorrow, what you do consistently, persistently, relentlessly until you break through to the other side of your dream. You think people are sitting around thinking about your problems? You think people are losing sleep over your struggles? You think the world is holding its breath waiting for you to succeed? Wake up. People are busy. People are dealing with their own challenges, their own fears, their own battles. They don't have time to worry about yours. They don't have energy to invest in your dream. Everyone is fighting their own war, climbing their own mountain, chasing their own vision. The illusion that someone else is responsible for your success is the most dangerous lie you can believe. The illusion that someone else cares more about your dreams than you do is the quickest path to disappointment and failure. Complaining is the most expensive activity you can engage in because it costs you everything and gives you nothing. Every minute you spend complaining about your situation is a minute you could have spent changing your situation. Every breath you waste on excuses is a breath you could have used to take action. Every word you speak in self-pity is a word that could have been spoken in self-empowerment. Victim mentality is not just a mindset, it's a lifestyle. It's a way of thinking that keeps you trapped in the very circumstances you claim you want to escape. When you see yourself as a victim, you give away your power. When you see yourself as a victim, you make excuses for your lack of results. When you see yourself as a victim, you wait for someone else to change your life instead of taking responsibility for changing it yourself. Self-pity is self-destruction in disguise. It feels like you're caring for yourself, but you're actually killing your potential. It feels like you're being kind to yourself, but you're actually being cruel to your future. Self-pity never solved a problem. Self-pity never built a business. Self-pity never created wealth. Self-pity never achieved a dream. Self-pity is the luxury of the uncommitted, the comfort of the defeated, the choice of those who have given up on themselves. You don't have time for self-pity. You don't have energy for self-pity. You don't have the luxury of feeling sorry for yourself when there's work to be done. You are your own rescue team. You are your own emergency service. You are your own solution to every problem you face. This isn't about being alone. This is about being empowered. This isn't about not having help. This is about not needing help to get started. This isn't about isolation. This is about self-reliance. When you understand that you are responsible for your own rescue, you stop waiting and start working. When you understand that you are responsible for your own breakthrough, you stop hoping and start hustling. When you understand that you are responsible for your own success, you stop wishing and start doing. Internal motivation is the only motivation that lasts. External motivation is temporary, conditional, and unreliable. Internal motivation is permanent, unconditional, and unshakable. External motivation depends on circumstances, people, and conditions. Internal motivation depends on nothing but your decision to be great. External motivation fades when the crowd goes home. Internal motivation burns brighter when external motivation needs constant feeding. Internal motivation feeds itself. Build your confidence from the inside out. Build your drive from your own values, your own vision, your own commitment to excellence. Build your motivation from your own refusal to accept mediocrity, your own determination to be extraordinary, your own decision to work harder than everyone else. Taking full responsibility for your life is the most liberating thing you can do. When you take full responsibility, you take full control. When you take full responsibility, you stop being a victim of circumstances and start being a creator of circumstances. When you take full responsibility, you stop reacting to life and start responding to life. When you take full responsibility, you stop making excuses and start making progress. Responsibility isn't a burden, it's a gift. Responsibility isn't a limitation, it's liberation. Responsibility isn't punishment, it's power. The power to choose, the power to change, the power to create the life you want instead of accepting the life you have. Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. Talent is what you're born with, but skill is what you develop through work. Talent is your starting point, but work ethic is your destination. Talent gets you noticed, but work ethic gets you results. Talent opens doors, but work ethic keeps them open. Talent creates opportunities, but work ethic creates success. You might not be the most talented person in the room, but you can be the hardest working person in the room. You might not be the smartest person in the room, but you can be the most committed person in the room. You might not be the most gifted person in the room, but you can be the most disciplined person in the room. Consistency compounds results. Small actions repeated consistently over time create massive results. Small improvements made consistently over time create extraordinary transformations. Small investments made consistently over time create incredible wealth. Most people overestimate what they can do in a day and underestimate what they can do in a month and underestimate what they can do in a decade. Most people want overnight success, but success is built one day at a time, one decision at a time, one action at a time. Consistency is the mother of mastery. Consistency is the father of achievement. Consistency is the foundation of all great success. The discipline of daily action separates the successful from the unsuccessful. Daily action is the difference between dreaming and doing. Daily action is the difference between hoping and having. Daily action is the difference between wishing and winning. What you do daily becomes your destiny. What you do daily becomes your identity. What you do daily becomes your reality. What you do daily becomes your reality. Champions don't become champions in the championship. They become champions in daily practice. Success doesn't happen in the spotlight. It happens in the shadows. Success doesn't happen when everyone is watching. It happens when no one is watching. Success doesn't happen when it's convenient. It happens when it's necessary. Outworking your competition is the ultimate competitive advantage. While your competition is sleeping, you're working. While your competition is complaining, you're creating. While your competition is making excuses, you're making progress. While your competition is waiting for perfect conditions, you're working with what you have. While your competition is preparing to get ready, you're already in motion. While your competition is thinking about starting, you're already finishing. While your competition is talking about what they're going to do, you're already doing what needs to be done. Work is your weapon. Work is your advantage. Work is your edge. Work is your secret. Work is your power. Mediocrity is a choice. Average is a decision. Ordinary is an option. Excellence is also a choice. Greatness is also a decision. Extraordinary is also an option. Every day you wake up, you choose which path to take. Every day you wake up, you choose which standard to live by. Every day you wake up, you choose which version of yourself to be. Most people choose the easy path, the comfortable path, the familiar path, but the easy path leads to a hard life. The comfortable path leads to an uncomfortable future. The familiar path leads to an unfamiliar destiny. The path of excellence is harder in the short term, but easier in the long term. The path of excellence is uncomfortable in the moment, but comfortable in the future. The path of excellence is unfamiliar at first, but becomes your new normal. Quality separates winners from losers. Quality is the difference between success and failure. Quality is the difference between temporary and permanent. Quality is the difference between respected and ignored. Quality is the difference between paid well and paid poorly. Quality is the difference between chosen and rejected. Quality is not an accident. Quality is not luck. Quality is not a gift. Quality is a choice. Quality is a commitment. Quality is a standard. Quality is a way of life. Quality is a decision you make every time you do something, every time you create something, every time you deliver something. Quality is what makes you irreplaceable. Quality is what makes you indispensable. Going beyond what's expected is where extraordinary begins. Expected is average. Expected is ordinary. Expected is what everyone else does. Beyond expected is where you separate yourself from the crowd. Beyond expected is where you separate your competitive advantage. Beyond expected is where you build your reputation. Beyond expected is where you become known for excellence. Beyond expected is where you become the standard that others aspire to reach. Beyond expected is where you become the person that others want to work with, learn from, and be around. Building a reputation through performance is the only reputation worth having. Your reputation is what precedes you into every room. Your reputation is what opens doors before you knock. Your reputation is what creates opportunities before you ask. Your reputation is what generates referrals before you request them. Your reputation is what builds trust before you speak. Your reputation is what establishes credibility before you prove it. Your reputation is not what you say about yourself, it's what your work says about you. Your reputation is not what you promise, it's what you deliver. Your reputation is not what you intend, it's what you accomplish. Your reputation is not built in a day, but it can be destroyed in a moment. Build it carefully, protect it fiercely, and let it speak for itself. Comfort zones are dream killers. Comfort zones are potential destroyers. Comfort zones are future thieves. Comfort zones are growth stoppers. Comfort zones are success preventers. Your comfort zone is the place where your dreams go to die. Your comfort zone is the place where your potential goes to waste. Your comfort zone is the place where your future goes to disappear. Your comfort zone feels safe, but it's actually dangerous. Your comfort zone feels secure, but it's actually risky. Your comfort zone feels comfortable, but it's actually costly. It costs you your dreams. It costs you your potential. It costs you your future. It costs you your greatness. It costs you your legacy. Embracing discomfort for transformation is the price of growth. Growth requires discomfort. Transformation requires discomfort. Success requires discomfort. Greatness requires discomfort. Excellence requires discomfort. If you're not uncomfortable, you're not growing. If you're not uncomfortable, you're not transforming. If you're not uncomfortable, you're not improving. If you're not uncomfortable, you're not advancing. Discomfort is not your enemy, it's your friend. Discomfort is not your problem, it's your solution. Discomfort is not your obstacle, it's your opportunity. Discomfort is where growth happens. Discomfort is where transformation occurs. Discomfort is where dreams become reality. Learning from failure and rejection is the education of champions. Failure is not final, it's feedback. Rejection is not personal, it's preparation. Setbacks are not permanent, they're temporary. Obstacles are not roadblocks, they're stepping stones. Problems are not punishments, they're possibilities. Every failure teaches you something that success cannot. Every rejection shows you something that acceptance cannot. Every setback reveals something that progress cannot. Every obstacle develops something that smooth sailing cannot. Every problem strengthens something that easy living cannot. Failure is not the opposite of success, it's the pathway to success. Rejection is not the end of the road, it's a detour to a better destination. Mental toughness through adversity is what separates champions from quitters. Adversity doesn't build character, it reveals character. Adversity doesn't create mental toughness, it uncovers mental toughness. Adversity doesn't make you strong, it shows you how strong you already are. Adversity doesn't give you courage, it gives you the opportunity to use the courage you already have. Adversity doesn't create winners, it separates winners from losers. Mental toughness is not about being physically strong, it's about being mentally unbreakable. Mental toughness is not about avoiding problems, it's about solving problems. Mental toughness is not about preventing failure, it's about recovering from failure. Mental toughness is not about eliminating fear, it's about acting despite fear. See beyond current limitations. Your current circumstances are not your permanent circumstances. Your current limitations are not your permanent limitations. Your current situation is not your permanent situation. Your current position is not your permanent position. Your current reality is not your permanent reality. What you see is not all there is. Where you are is not all you can have. What you've done is not all you can do. What you've achieved is not all you can achieve. Your vision must be bigger than your current view. Your dreams must be larger than your current reality. Your goals must be greater than your current situation. Your potential must be more powerful than your current position. Long-term thinking in a short-term world is the competitive advantage of the wise. Most people think in days and weeks. Successful people think in years and decades. Most people make decisions based on immediate gratification. Successful people make decisions based on long-term consequences. Long-term thinking allows you to see opportunities that others miss. and make investments that others won't make. Building your future through present actions is the only way to guarantee your tomorrow. Your future is not determined by your past, it's determined by your present. Your future is not created by your history, it's created by your habits. Every action you take today is a vote for the future you want. Every decision you make today is a step toward the destination you desire. You are your greatest asset and most valuable investment. Invest in yourself like your life depends on it, because it does. Continuous learning and improvement is not optional. It's essential. Skills are your security in a changing world. Skills are your protection against obsolescence and your guarantee of relevance. The world is changing faster than ever before. The only security you have is your ability to adapt, learn, and grow. Reading, studying, growing daily is the habit of champions. Leaders are readers. Achievers are learners. Successful people are always growing and developing. They read books, listen to podcasts, attend seminars, take courses, seek mentors. They understand that the best investment they can make is in themselves. Every moment is an opportunity to improve and progress. Most people waste most of their moments and squander their opportunities. But successful people understand that time is their most valuable resource. Stop wasting time on worthless activities that don't move you closer to your goals. Productivity over busy work is the difference between motion and progress. Busy work makes you feel productive but doesn't make you productive. Making every hour count is the discipline of the dedicated. How you spend your hours determines how you spend your life. Winners think differently than losers. Winners see possibilities while others see problems. Winners focus on solutions while others focus on obstacles. Winners concentrate on opportunities while others focus on limitations. Mental warfare against negativity is a daily battle. Negative thoughts are like weeds in your mind. You must actively choose positive thoughts and intentionally focus on positive outcomes. Visualization and positive self-talk are the tools of champions. What you see in your mind, you will create in your life. What you speak to yourself, you will become. Visualization is not wishful thinking, it's mental rehearsal and preparation. Believing before seeing is the faith of achievers. Most people need to see it to believe it. Achievers need to believe it to see it. Don't wait for perfect conditions, because perfect conditions never come. Don't wait for all the resources, because you'll never have all the resources. Don't wait for complete knowledge, because you'll never have complete knowledge. Don't wait for total confidence, because you'll never have total confidence. Don't wait for absolute certainty, because you'll never have absolute certainty. Don't wait for perfect timing, because perfect timing doesn't exist. Perfect conditions are an illusion. Perfect circumstances are a myth. Perfect situations are a fantasy. Perfect moments are a delusion. Perfect opportunities are a dream. Make things happen through action. Action is the bridge between dreams and reality. Action is the connection between vision and achievement. Action is the link between goals and accomplishment. Action is the pathway between intention and results. Action is the route between planning and success. Without action, dreams remain dreams. Without action, plans remain plans. Without action, goals remain goals. Without action, visions remain visions. Without action, intentions remain intentions. Action is what transforms possibility into reality. Action is what converts potential into performance. Action is what changes ideas into income. Action is what turns thoughts into things. That work and relationship building is investing in your future. Your network is your net worth. Your relationships are your resources. Your connections are your currency. Your associations are your assets. Your contacts are your capital. People do business with people they know, like, and trust. People hire people they know, like, and trust. People promote people they know, like, and trust. People recommend people they know, like, and trust. People invest in people they know, like, and trust. People support people they know, like, and trust. Build genuine relationships. Build authentic connections. Build meaningful associations. Build valuable contacts. Build profitable partnerships. Value creation in the marketplace is the foundation of wealth. The marketplace rewards value creation. The marketplace pays for problem solving. The marketplace compensates for need meeting. The marketplace rewards for service providing. The marketplace pays for benefit delivering. The marketplace compensates for solution offering. If you want to earn more, create more value. If you want to be paid more, solve bigger problems. If you want to make more money, serve more people. If you want to generate more income, meet more needs. If you want to produce more wealth, deliver more benefits. If you want to create more prosperity, offer more solutions. Your life is your responsibility. Your success is your responsibility. Your failure is your responsibility. Your happiness is your responsibility. Your fulfillment is your responsibility. Your achievement is your responsibility. Your results are your responsibility. Your outcomes are your responsibility. Your legacy is your responsibility. Your legacy is your responsibility. Stop waiting for someone else to take responsibility for your life. Stop expecting someone else to create your success. Stop hoping someone else will solve your problems. Stop wishing someone else will make your dreams come true. Stop praying someone else will build your future. Start today, not tomorrow. Start now, not later. Start here, not somewhere else. Start with what you have, not with what you wish you had. Start with where you are, not with where you wish you were. Start with who you are, not with who you wish you were. Tomorrow is a promise that may never come. Later is a luxury you can't afford. Somewhere else is an escape from responsibility. What you wish you had is an excuse for inaction. Where you wish you were is a distraction from progress. Who you wish you were is a denial of your current power. Transform your reality through relentless work. Work is the universal solvent that dissolves all obstacles. Work is the master key that opens all doors. Work is the magic formula that creates all success. Work is the secret ingredient that produces all achievement. Work is the common denominator that generates all wealth. Work is the fundamental force that builds all empires. Work is the basic principle that creates all prosperity. Work is the essential element that produces all progress. Work is the vital component that generates all growth. Work is the critical factor that creates all transformation. Nobody cares about your excuses, but everybody respects your results. Nobody cares about your reasons, but everybody values your achievements. Nobody cares about your explanations, but everybody appreciates your accomplishments. Nobody cares about your justifications, but everybody recognizes your success. Nobody cares about your stories, but everybody admires your performance. Nobody cares about your circumstances, but everybody honors your victories. Results speak louder than words. Results matter more than reasons. Results count more than excuses. Results weigh more than explanations. Results carry more than justifications. The time for excuses is over. The time for blame is finished. The time for complaints is done. The time for waiting is ended. The time for hoping is past. The time for wishing is gone. The time for dreaming is through. The time for planning is complete. The time for preparing is over. The time for action is now. The time for work is now. The time for excellence is now. The time for commitment is now. The time for discipline is now. The time for sacrifice is now. The time for transformation is now. The time for success is now. The time for greatness is now. The time for your breakthrough is now. Nobody cares. Work harder. That's the truth. That's the message. That's the reality. That's the solution. That's the answer. That's the key. That's the secret. That's the formula. That's the principle. That's the law. That's the rule. That's the standard. That's the requirement. That's the expectation. That's the demand. That's the price. That's the cost. That's the investment. That's the commitment. That's your destiny.